we go.
How much further do you think it's going to be?
About 2 minutes.
All right, you ready? Yep. All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Ashland High School Varsity Baseball on WACA-TV, your exclusive home for Ashland High School sports. Today's Tri-Valley League Division III matchup features your Ashland Clockers versus the Dedham Marauders. Along with Scott Soderberg, I'm George Tubin, bringing you today's action from behind home plate at the Ashland Middle School baseball field. Scott, great to have you here today.
George, great to be here. What a spectacular day for baseball, finally. After so many rainy, wet, cold afternoons, it's good to just be here with a sweatshirt, talking a little baseball with you today. Excited.
It is, yeah. Last game, I think I had my snowsuit on. My hands were freezing.
Yeah, a lot of snowsuits and jackets and mittens, a lot of stuff like that.
All right, so the Clockers are off to a rough start with a 1-3 record to start the season, but they did have a bright spot last week with a 5-1 win against the Grafton Gators on Friday in a frigid 35-degree matchup. Scott, what's your take on the season so far?
Well, I think that the Clockers are pretty young and they're just trying to find themselves a little bit. I've seen 3 of the 4 games. The 2 of the games I've seen, they just had one bad inning, and one bad inning is enough. But I think that the young guys will pick it up, and I think hopefully the pitching will start to solidify itself, and things will turn around. Coach Mess always fields a great team and does a great job with these guys, getting them ready, and I think they'll be ready for today.
That's excellent. Well, let's see how this fans out as we're getting underway here with Nolan Soderberg pitching for the Ashland Clockers. Scott, you know this Soderberg kid?
I do. I've known him for quite a few years. Yeah, Nolan on his first start of the year. He's had a couple of relief appearances, one against Westwood, which he struggled with, and then he had one on Halston last week, which he threw pretty well.
Excellent. Let's get underway today. Ground ball to third base. Nice throw by Devin O'Brien over to first base for the out.
That's what we want to do, George. It's the old expression of, 3 pitches. We either want them on first base or we want them sitting on the bench. And good start there for the Clockers. Devin played a really good game the other day on Friday in the frigid temperatures. I feel that he's really improved his defense.
Agreed. All right, second batter here for Dedham.
Number 3, we've got Liam Dowling Jr. He's an infielder. Not quite sure what spot Liam's playing, but we'll figure that out as he's...
Another pitch right around that same outside spot for a ball. I think we're 1-1 now.
Good spot right there. Looked like a little bit of a change from Nolan rather than going to the fastball there on the changeup.
Yeah, look good. Yeah, the swinger just swing right over it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that ball sharply hit right down to Chris Braddock at first base for another out. Again, nice pitching, forcing those ground balls to the infield, letting them do their thing, and getting those quick outs.
Yeah, I think too when he was able to locate his changeup, a lot of down balls, the ground balls for us. It's when he gets up a little bit, the changeup, he's going to struggle with that. That's a good pitch on the outside part of the plate. We use the old expression, work ahead, stay ahead. George, want to just keep your infielders and outfielders ready to go. This is senior Ryan Laughter, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Oh, good curveball there by Soderberg.
Got it in the inside pitch
Devin.
again.
That's a good inning by the Clockers. Noli keeping it to, I think he threw about 8 pitches. Probably going to be upset I'm calling him Noli, but that's life.
You can get away with it. I don't know who else can. So that's great. 3 up, 3 down. A good way to start their game after the win last week.
I also think it's important that when you're throwing strikes, you're keeping your fielders alive, and that's a key. That you want to keep your fielders alive. If you're walking a lot of people, sometimes that's a tendency when you have errors happen because they've been watching people walk around their bases. But that's a good start, and hopefully we can get the sticks rolling. George, I believe we were talking before the game, and you were talking about that we just need to score more runs, that we really haven't scored a ton of runs yet, but did put up 5, correct, on Friday?
I think it was 5, yes.
Yeah, 5 on Friday, and that was primarily keeping the ball in play, making them make plays. So I thought that was a pretty good inning they had. I think it was the 6th inning. Does that sound right?
I think it was towards the end of the game. You know, the high school too. I mean, actually, in all of baseball, the ability to manufacture runs. You know, to get a walk, to get on base, and then with good base running and good coordination, get runners around is so important.
Absolutely. Just keep the ball in play, make them make plays. Like you said, put the pressure on the defense at any level. And I was watching the Sox the other night. I want to say they made 5 errors, and that's where they've struggled a little bit. But if we can make our plays and then offensively move people around, we'll be all right.
And minimizing errors as well. I think one of the previous games, the opposing team had maybe 2 hits, but on maybe 5 or 6 errors, they were able to produce 8 runs. So yeah, I mean, really, all sides of the game have to be in pretty good shape.
Well, what do they say? It's pitching, defense, and clutch hitting. If you got 2 of those, you're a good team. You have 3, you're a great team.
Yeah.
And I felt like the other day, I'm looking at him right now on deck, Michael Schreiber, a perfect example of, and I want to be careful how I say this, but Michael had a couple rough at-bats, and then his 3rd at-bat, he came up, and I want to say it was like a 10-page at-bat. And even though he didn't have a base hit, he really gained some confidence. And then the next time up, he had one of the key hits of the game, roped the ball between short and 3rd. And so it is. Sometimes you get one time where you're going to get a hit and not worry about the other ones. You got to have a short-term memory.
It's so critical. It's a game of more misses than there are hits.
Right. Here we go.
Schreiber swings at the first pitch, a little bit outside for a strike. Pitching for Dedham is Jack Haven, who's a junior for Dedham.
I want to say we saw Jack last year. Jack primarily features a curveball and change, not overpowering, but he threw a lot of strikes last year. Chris Braddock at the plate. Chris having a good year at the plate.
That was called a strike. A curveball, I think, just caught the outside corner. Now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. That ball's high. You got to be a little bit careful back here. We're at an angle, so a lot of these pitches that look like, I don't want to second guess the umpire. A lot of pitches that look like balls or strikes, ones that look like strikes or balls. Oh, Braddock rips that one. Great play by the right fielder to get to that ball. It almost looked like he was going to get a little bit into a gap, but
a lot of top spin on that. Really good piece of hitting by Chris. 2 strikes, keep the ball in play. Almost a gap shot. It definitely would have been 2, maybe 3. Nice play by the right fielder. My apologies, the right fielder. Not quite sure what number he is. I can't see from here.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Michael Schreiber, sophomore. Ooh, I thought that hit his shirt. You're right, George. Tough angle here.
It is. These right-handed curveballs that come in are deceiving from the angle that we're at.
That one's outside, 2-0. George, never one to criticize the umpires. It's hard to get the umpires. I may have criticized a basketball official or 2 in my day, but we'll leave that one alone.
I've never witnessed that.
Good eye by Schreiber, 3-0.
Nice to be ahead on a count like this. See if coach has him holding.
Yeah, I probably gave him the take here.
Took, and ball was low for walk. It's going to bring Ollie LaRoe up to bat.
Ollie swings a good stick. Ollie, good athlete, good hockey player. Made a great play the other day on the double play ball in the 7th inning. Great stretch. Jared Grumbaum playing short because Schreiber was pitching. Ball out for Schreiber's glove. Jared fielded it up on second. Great stretch by Ollie. Huge play in the game.
That was a great double play. Ollie's had some great quality at bats. If you look at his at bats, he's always it's always up 5, 6, 7, 8 pitches.
Yeah, Ollie does a really good job. I don't know what his on-base percentage is off the top of my head, but last 2 years I've been watching him here, I would say he's been pretty high. Yeah. Ollie's a junior. It looks like a delayed steal.
Braddock is going, and ball goes into the outfield. Braddock is going for 3rd base. Throw behind him, head first slide, and he's safe.
Yeah. Good heads-up play by Chris Braddock. And that situation right there, the ball is in front of Chris, so he was able, once the ball went to center field, he was able to see where the ball was and make his own decision rather than relying on coach.
Yeah, there wasn't time to hear from the coach on that. You just
No.
have to decide and go.
You got to decide. Ball's in front of you. You can make your own decision, especially at this level.
All right, 1-1 to LaRoe. And
There we
LaRoe,
go.
inside pitch, LaRoe rips it into left field, which is going to score Chris Bradica and put Ashland on the board.
Do want to point out, too, excellent base running there by Chris Bradica. What he did on that line drive, couldn't quite tell, is he froze. Some people say go back a step. He made sure it got through, and then he was going to easily score. If that ball is caught on a line, then you could be doubled off. Good heads up. Now to play Devin O'Brien. Devin, good swing, good stick, been playing a good third. Had a big hit the other day. Kept it in play. Wasn't a shot. It was a bloop, but those count too, George.
Yep. Hey, he got on a little bit under that one. Ball's way up in the air. First baseman in foul territory is back, and he has it. So it's going to be 2 outs. Yeah, Devin's been getting his bat on the ball almost every at-bat. That one just a little bit under it.
Now batting senior Nolan Soderberg, the pitcher for today, number 7. Nolan kept the ball in play quite a bit the other day. Had a big hit at the end. It was a little collision at first base.
Yeah, that collision. I was a little bit nervous on that because they're two big boys. Nice rip by Nolan right by the shortstop.
Look, that's what happens right there. You got a player stealing, Ollie stealing, shortstop. I'm not quite sure why the shortstop was covering the bag because generally you have your second baseman there. Again, not a criticism of the coach because I don't know what they're doing with their steals. Now we got first and second. And they have, this is Finn.
Yeah, this is Finn Connery.
Finn Connery. Finn had a big hit the other day too. Known Finn for a number of years, and he's a ball player. Oddly enough, his family of wrestlers out of Framingham.
Yes.
Good friends of my wife's family, the Conlins. We've known them forever.
And there's a strike.
Finn didn't like that one. That's all right.
2 balls, 1 strike to Connery. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning. Nice rip right through the middle.
There we go. Let him know. Let him know. What do we got going on here?
Right fielder bobbles the ball. He can't get to it. Good heads up running.
Nice job. Finn with a clutch 2-strike hit there. And a ribby. Soderberg advances to third on the bobble in right field. And now Jared Grumbaum is up. Jared, sophomore, second baseman, also relief pitcher.
LaRoe scored on that last play as well, so Clockers are now with a 2-0 lead. Grumbaum hits a fly ball way foul, and the first baseman can't get to it.
It's a tip for all those young Clockers out there. Less than 2 outs, a foul ball, always go back and tag because you never know. You score on something, take an extra base.
Pitch is well inside for a ball.
So we got a first and third situation here with 2 outs. Wondering, we'll see what Coach Messer's got up his sleeve. Oh, little foul ball.
A little foul ball to the third base side.
Coach Messer makes an excellent play on a slow roll. It's tough. It's a hot spot down there. You got to be paying attention at the coach on third base.
All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jared Grumbaum at bat. That's another inside pitch. Make the count 2-2. Also, like maybe the breaking ball isn't quite breaking the way the pitcher's looking for.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit with it. It's up a little bit, doesn't have as much bite. Oh, that one looks like it's going to be foul.
That's going to be foul. It's a
Good
deep foul ball to right field.
Good effort by the right fielder. Clearly a good athlete out there. The young man made a great catch already.
Yeah. Yeah, he is very fast.
So on this too, with 2 strikes and 2 outs, we always say once the guy swings, if you're at first base, you're going to take off. Third base, obviously Nolan has to see what the play is going to be.
runner goes.
Oh yeah,
That's a good hit and run play. The ball's right up the middle. Center fielder's trying to throw it all the way, throws it into the pitcher.
That's another great piece of two-strike hitting by a young guy. Love seeing that. Jared Grumbaum with a ribby, 2 outs, 2 strikes. Now we have Ian McCoyne.
Nolan Soderberg scored on that.
Ian's a freshman, plays all outfield positions. Got a pretty good stick, and he's also very speedy. And dare I say that Ian is probably in the mix for best hair on the team. Can I say that on cable? I think I just
Of course
did.
you can.
Here we go.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. 1-1 to Ian. Back in the same situation. Runners on first and third. 2 outs. Bottom of the first.
Oh, that might
Ian
get through
puts
the
it
hole.
on the ground. It gets through the hole.
Oh wow, beautifully done. Oh, there we
Right
go.
field.
Another 2-out hit by a young guy. This is George, we were talking before the game about this. This is exactly what they need. The young guys that come through, and they've just had 2 young guys come through in a row.
Yeah. Like you said, you put the ball in play and you don't know what's going to happen.
Find some holes. Is that 4, George?
That's 4.
That's 4.
4 runs on. This is Luke O'Brien.
This is Luke, Devin's twin.
Team catcher. Ball's outside.
I believe Luke's heading to UConn in the fall, George. Just not quite sure what he's studying.
He is. He's very excited about that. I'm excited for him to head out to UConn. Our pitcher steps off the mound. As we're here, bottom of the first inning. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Luke O'Brien at bat.
So a little double steal there.
He got the steal. Nice. Yeah, Grumbaum got down to third base. Was a very close throw, but it was a little late.
I think the pitcher is just giving 1 look towards second base. So that was allowed Jared to just get there.
Yeah. So now we have runners at second and third.
Just looking for Luke to put something in play here. Never know what happens.
That gets called a strike. So we have 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's Luke O'Brien here.
Right,
Big
good half
swing,
inning.
but miss. So that's going to be third out. Bottom of the inning was a great inning. 4 runs scored, number of hits, good running.
Yep, at least had 3 2-out hits. Hits by McCoyne, Greenbaum, and Finn. So 2 freshmen and a sophomore, George, coming up with big ribbies in the bottom of the first. Exactly what you need.
Great way to start the game.
Well, George, you bring a little sunshine, you never know what happens, right? I think the other thing, too, is there's people at home, there's no wind right now. There's no wind. I do see my older brother over there.
Oh, nice.
Cruising up from Connecticut. Quite the fastballer in his day.
So he wisely thought it was more important to watch Nolan play than to sit at home and listen to you broadcast.
Yeah, he probably want to listen to that, even though I get him a shout out.
Good. He's in Connecticut?
Yeah, he lives in Salem, right near the casinos.
Oh.
At the top of the second inning here coming. Dedham will lead off with number 2, I believe. Edwin Rodriguez, who's an infielder, not quite sure what spot.
Yeah, the Marauders are having a tough start to the season. They're 0-4 so far this year. They faced some tough teams. They faced a lot of the same teams that the Clockers have faced, and resulted in the same losses. 3 teams, I think Holliston, Hopkinton, and maybe Westwood. Both the teams faced. Both the teams lost to them. So the Marauders certainly want to get a win here to get them out of their slump, but it's going to be tough digging back from a 4-0 hole. But in high school baseball, I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah, a lot of things can happen, believe me. I do know that they played a tough game against Hopkinton. I'm not quite sure. I believe it went extra innings. So they've been in their games, and as you mentioned earlier, George, that they've scored a lot more runs than we have overall. So we got to just keep playing the good D, and hopefully Soderberg on the mound can throw strikes and keep his infield in it.
Yep. All right, first batter in the top of the second. First pitch strike. A lot of coaches talk about first pitch strikes as being pretty critical. Although you don't want to do it every time because that ball sharply hits Michael Schreiber at shortstop. Great throw over to first base. Chris Bradica. Schreiber's been money at shortstop. I mean, he's playing the infield very well.
Yeah, Michael. I watched Michael. I don't have a name on this young man. 21. I watched Michael all winter long working out down at Nakona, hitting and fielding. He's really stepped up his game. Michael is going to be. He is a good shortstop, and I think he's going to be an outstanding shortstop. I think he's going to be a league all-star at some point. Soderberg starts again with a strike. George, you mentioned first pitch strikes. I think it's the most important thing in baseball, to be honest with you. I ask kids often, like, what's the best pitch? And the kids will say fastball, and I say strike one. A little low right there for Soderberg. It's 1-1.
There's a ball. This looks like Jadil Feliciano that's at bat. Number 21 for the Dedham Marauders. That ball was inside.
Oh, I'm sorry, George, I missed that. You are correct. Jadil Feliciano.
Two balls, one strike. That pitch was close, just outside for another ball.
3-1. We won't have any freebies here. Challenge them, they think.
Another pitch just outside, and that'll be Soderberg's first walk.
Yeah, we don't like walks, George.
We don't, but unfortunately,
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
This is James Doyle, number 4.
There's that first pitch strike again.
Old adage here too, George. Guy in first, one out. Make sure one, hopefully you can get 2. Always make sure you get that first one.
And that ball sharply hit to center field, and it drops in. LaRoe almost gets to it in time to get the runner out at second. The runner had to hold up. Wasn't sure if LaRoe was going to get under that.
He did a really good job with the deke, holding his glove up like he was going to catch it. The run out delay. Number 12 up right now, Cameron Keene, an infielder, junior. Luke going out to the mound just to convert with Soderberg. Probably switching their signs now with a guy on second base.
Makes sense. This Keene looks to be about 6'4" from back here, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, he looks like a tall guy here.
Another ball, right? Foul ball. Chris Bradica gets in time to get that pop out.
Good job by Soderberg jamming him right there. Now we got 2 outs. You also want to point out Bradica's playing back behind the runner and get himself some range here.
Also, good job by the coach screaming out the player name who should get the ball, so there wasn't any confusion between the catcher and the first baseman.
Stop. Coach Messer always highly involved in the game. Love his enthusiasm, always have. Always try to get the kids up on offense, making sure they're talking. I'm a believer in that. I'm a believer that if the kids are talking, they're more involved in the game. Not everybody is, but that's okay. Got to have your style. There's a foul tip on an outside fastball. Another key here, George, we'd always say, got 2 outs here. Just keep it in the infield, save a run. So anything a hard hit on the ground.
1-1. The count, runners on first and second. 2 outs.
Oh, hits batsman. That's
the
not
batter.
good.
Batter seems to be okay. Just went right down to the base. Didn't even.
I think it was a changeup.
Yeah.
Oh, now you got to force an A base here. Big out here though for Soderberg. Sam Payne on the mound, senior. outfielder.
Bases loaded now, 2 outs. And there's another first pitch strike.
Talked about this, George, right? That we don't have freebies, so right now we got a hit by a pitch and a walk for freebies. Soderberg put himself in a tough spot.
Yeah, he's good at getting out of tough spots.
Oh, I'd ask
swing
on that. Oh,
no.
Luke checking on the check swing. From my angle, it looked like he went around, but again, I'm not umpiring.
It does, yeah. Unfortunately, at this level, we don't have an umpire on the first baseline to check, so the second base umpire had to. Oh, another hit batter.
Oh.
Just went a little inside.
Oh, free run right there.
So that brings in a run. It leaves the bases loaded with 2 outs. I guess those, from the pitcher, the ball just sometimes gets away from you.
Yeah, looks like he's having trouble with his changeup grip. There we go, good spot. Oh, that's 1-0.
Yep, just missed it. 1 ball, no strikes. Nice pitch right up the middle, but that was a rip into left field. Runner's going far from third base. He comes in and slides, and he makes it.
Well, that's what happens when you give up freebies. So now it's a 4-3 ball game after being 4-zip. Soderberg with a couple hits batters and a walk, and then a single there, a sharp single. It's 4-3. Now we get back. I think we're at the top of the order. Liam Dowling.
Top of the order. As you said, score's now 4-3. We still have runners on first and second base. Oh, and that ball just gets a little dribbler. Oh, and he gets out. The throw was a little bit high. Bradica got up, got down, and got his foot back on the base just maybe a split second before the runner got there.
Wow, great play by Bradica. Not a great throw by Nolan coming off the mound. In that situation, George, he's got time. He needs to gain a little ground towards first base and throw it a little harder. You don't want to, we use the expression, lollipop it over. And then Chris made an outstanding play.
It was. I mean, that's a tough throw, though. I mean, running in from the mound, getting a little dribbler, then having to turn the body around and get the throw by the runner.
Yeah, George, it's still going to be made, but
yes,
thank goodness that Chris is there. Not a great inning for Nolan on the mound with a couple hits back in a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be ready to go third inning.
Yeah. So we're heading to the bottom of the second here with the score of 4-3. Looks like we have the same pitcher in for Dedham, I think.
No, it's a new guy.
Oh, it is a new guy, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a new guy.
I think it is a new guy.
Brady Petto. A little taller.
Yeah, he looks like he appears to be throwing a little bit harder as well, whereas, like as you said, the previous pitcher was mostly change-ups and curves. This looks like he's
got a little more velocity. Yeah, I watch him warming up. Might be a little tired.
We'll see. So number 15 warming up here. Unfortunately, we don't know much about the Dedham Marauders and their play.
Gentlemen, just from watching warm up, looks like a good fastball and.
So they really have to be strategic about their pitching.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of guys throw, that's for sure, especially if Soderberg's going out now.
Right. Well, we'll see. I don't think his pitch count was too high, and if he's...
No, but I saw him pulling his arm a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, they do have a number of pitchers on the team, so...
Well, you have to throw somebody and get somebody else an opportunity, and then we're going to have to do that.
The wind's finally picking up a little bit.
Here we go. I jinxed this last inning.
What do we usually see, Scott, in high school for, the better pitchers? What do they typically have? 2 pitches, fastball, changeup, fastball, curveball? Or,
yeah, fastball, changeup, curveball. Some guys throw a slider. And then with the fastball, you go 4-seam, 2-seam. It's good to have both because the 2-seam is going to move more. So if you're a right-hander, you throw a 2-seamer, it's going to move more into the right-handers. If 4-seam is, you get more velocity, but it's flatter. So, and then obviously with the lefties, same thing, your 2-seamer and 4-seamer. Everybody throws each, and then curveball and change. It's if you have 3 pitchers going at once, you can really set people up. If you just got 2, sometimes they can sit. And I mentioned my brother earlier. My brother, when he used to pitch, he used to throw 9. And back, he's a lot older, so he used to tell me if I couldn't get my curveball where people sit on my fastball, and he didn't really have a changeup, and he said it was the biggest regret. So, the best thing too is with the changeup, you can teach that early. Radica up takes a curveball. Speaking of curveballs, pitch 1. Chris ripped one last time, but it was caught by the right fielder.
That ball's just off the corner for a ball. I think I mentioned on the last broadcast, Radica probably in the best shape of any junior I've ever seen. He takes working out pretty seriously, and it shows in his performance.
Well, they always say, the difference between the morning path and over, it's getting in the weight room. And I think some of these younger guys too, if they can get in the weight room, it'll make a difference. I know it has for my own son. He works out all the time, helps him with how far the ball's hit, how hard the ball's hit.
Another ball outside. That brings the count to 3 balls, 1 strike. To start off the bottom of the second inning. Looks like Bradica was taking on that one. Probably had instructions from the coach. Gives us a full count here. Ooh, holds up on that one.
Oh, that was a tough one. That was good that
was smart at bat there to hold up on that because it was a little bit high, and we'll start off the inning with a walk.
Chris has got a really good eye.
This brings Michael Schreiber up to bat.
Schreiber, another guy that's working out a lot, looks good.
There's a strike, a fastball down the middle. Also a good mix of lefty and righty batters on this team.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we got a really good mix. Coach can play around with that, especially stolen base situations, hit and runs. Outside there, 1-on-1. Schreiber, the swing, outside pitch, 1-2 now.
That ball's fouled way out of play. Killed somebody on the lacrosse field out there. Luckily, we don't have anybody practicing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner goes, and a great timing was a pass ball. Catcher runs back to get it, and Bradica will be over on second base. Easy steal.
This situation right here, Schreiber's job is to make sure that he gets the runner to third base. So ground ball right side, anything. Keep the ball in play, do a job, so then you get somebody that's 90 feet closer.
As you said, preferably to the right side.
Preferably to the right side. Ooh, tough pitch there. Down a little bit, I guess.
It was down. Look at a sweeping curve.
Michael Schreiber, pretty tall guy, also.
Full count here now to Schreiber. No outs, runner on second. Schreiber goes down for that pitch, gets it way up in the air to center field. Center field's there, hits the cutoff, gets the ball in, so no advancement of the runner.
So a couple different options there. It's the runner at second base. You can go as far as you can because you're already in scoring position. Chris saw the back of his shirt a little bit, so he went back and tagged, which I think was a really good move, and he showed a deke so that then the outfielder has to rush to get the throw in, and if you get a bad throw, you get the base. Yep. Coaches teach it both ways. I'm not quite sure how Coach Messer teaches it, to be honest with you, but I'm sure he teaches it the way it's best for his program here. Ollie LaRue on the dish here hitting.
That ball's outside. Yarley's one of these kids that bats righty and throws lefty.
A rarity. See more guys doing it the other way around, but
right. Like Devin O'Brien.
Like Devin O'Brien, yeah. Ollie had a single first time up. Good eye by Ollie.
Good eye. That's just off the outside. Quickly gets ahead. 2 balls, no strikes.
Good lead by Ollie. Borderline, a little high, but good job.
Good job. Quickly had 3 balls, no strikes. Pitcher checking second base.
Good patience by Ollie. My guess, like you said earlier, George, coach gave him the take there, rather than getting overly anxious. Even at the major league level, a lot of times they go 3-0 take. Devin O'Brien now up. Dev popped up first time.
We got runners at first and second. 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. That pitch is inside for a ball.
I think Dev's going to rip one right here. I think he's due. I think he's thinking, get a little rip here, get a run in. Got some sticks behind me that produced first time.
Especially if he pulls the ball into right field. That ball's high.
Good leave there.
That pitcher struggling a little bit here. Just came in at the bottom of the inning. And I think the coach sees that as well, and he's going to walk out and have a talk with his pitcher.
So as I hear it right here, right, George, we always say, find a pitch to drive. So this isn't a borderline pitch. This is wherever you want it. Everybody has different areas that they like to swing at. Some guys like inside, some guys like outside. Oddly enough, I was always more of an outside guy, but I know Dev likes the ball down and in. So I think if he gets that, he's going to rip something. But you don't want to have a wild swing here. Hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports. You don't want to help the pitcher out. So it's okay to let that pitch go. If he throws him an outside fastball right here that he doesn't think he can get to, let it go by.
Right.
Or if it's the other thing too is if you get fooled with less than 2 strikes, let it go by. Like as a pitcher right now, he's struggling. I would not call the fastball, but if he's not, he can't get his off speed off, he might go fastball.
2 balls, no strikes to Devin O'Brien.
Oh, and so a little high there. Dev went off to a little bit of high pitch. A little overzealous. That's okay though. Now he's got a swing in.
Look like a changeup.
Yeah, I agree, George. I think it was something off speed. Threw him off. Good leave there by Dev. 3-1.
3-1, yep. Ashland looking to take advantage of a pitcher who seems he's struggling to get into the strike zone here. And that's outside again. It's going to load the bases up for Nolan Soderberg.
Nolan ripped a ball in the left field for his last at-bat. So key here is you want to make sure we get a run. So sack fly, blooper, bleeder, anything. Just want to stay away from the double play. Looks like they're playing corners in, so they're going to try to do the home to first double play if they can from the corners.
And Nolan, it's a shot that may drop in. Shortstop gets over and gets that ball.
No, good play by the shortstop. No, place where you don't want it, he pops up to the shortstop.
That's tough, just
shallow left field. Chris deked the coming home. Not quite sure if it was deep enough or not.
Yeah, I think he came down the line a little bit thinking the ball was going to drop in, and then when it didn't, he had to get back.
Did a good job, though. He tagged up. Chris Gruel is heady base runner.
Finn Connery at bat with bases loaded, 2 outs, and takes the first pitch for a strike.
Finn had a big ribby, 2-out ribby last inning. Had a big ribby Friday also. I may have already mentioned that. I apologize if I have.
That pitch outside for a ball.
Finn had a little injury in the off season, so he didn't have as much time to prep. And I know Finn very well. He's a guy that's always in the cage, always down, trying to get better. He's going to be a really good ball player for this team this year and in the years to come. That's a
1-1 pitch is high for a ball.
George, that's a pitch a lot of young guys swing at, that borderline fastball. That's a good job by Finn.
That really is. That chest-high pitch is something that, you're right, most youth kids just can't not swing at.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Oh, and he did on that one.
That was an off-speed pitch.
I jinxed him. What do you got, 2 and 2, 2 outs here, correct?
2 and 2, 2 outs. Bases loaded, bottom of the second. Ashland up 4-3. And he strikes him out.
Good job by their pitcher coming in and shutting the door.
That was a great job by him digging himself out of that hole. I mean, he was in a tough spot, bases loaded with 1 out. Certainly no pitcher wants to be in that position. He was able to get himself out of the inning.
Looks like Soderberg's all right. He's coming back out to the mound. Maybe just getting Grunbaum warmed up just in case.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, George. Yeah, I agree. Great job by the pitcher coming in, getting Soderberg on a pop-up, and then Finn Connery on a strikeout. So we're going to the top of the third here, 4-3, Ashland.
And now the rest of the team makes their way out in the field. This truly is a nice spring feeling game.
Again, could not ask for a nicer day today here at Walker Field. As Hall of Famer Ernie Banks used to say, beautiful day for baseball, let's play 2.
Yeah, it absolutely is. If we look at the box score here, Ashland has 5 hits. Dedham has 2 hits. Dedham also has 1 error. Ashland has committed no errors. As we go to the top of the third, it will be Ashland 4, Dedham 3. Soderberg warming up a little bit. It seemed like he had a little bit of soreness at the end of last inning. See how he feels after he warms up here.
All speculation. He might have been fine. He struggled finding the plate a little bit after a great first inning, and then hit a couple guys and walked a guy.
Yeah.
Looks okay warming up here.
Yeah, ball's coming in well. Got away from him.
Pitch almost hit us.
maybe if he heard what you said, he didn't like it.
He didn't like it. What's for dinner, Dad? Looking forward to the rest of this week. Ashland travels to Medfield on Wednesday. I believe that's I have it on my phone, folks. I don't want to give you the wrong time.
You're right. It's a 4:30 game on Wednesday.
And then Thursday back here, which is a makeup game against Norwood.
Well, that was one of the games that got rained out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Surprised they haven't had more games rained out.
I know. But you must be used to that. I mean, with all your years in baseball, how many rain outs you get in April and May.
One thing I've learned is you can't control the weather. You just do what you can. And although I coach another team, and Soderberg comes back with a strike.
First pitch strike.
Another team, and we've played in the pouring rain already this year in the freezing cold. It's not fun playing baseball there.
No.
Then, I should say. 1-1. Ryan Laughter, the catcher up. 2-1 right now.
2-1 to start the third inning. Ball's down a little bit.
A friend that a little better might pick that one up. Not to criticize Luke. Luke does a great job back there.
Yeah,
It's
Luke
tough.
O'Brien's been doing a great job behind.
It's tough to.
And that ball's ripped to center field.
Wow, what a catch by, is that Ian McCoy out there?
Yeah. He actually came all the way over from right field into almost the center field.
Again, that's pitching to contact. That's great. And with that, folks, that ball is going to tail from a right-hander towards the right field line. Ian did a great job playing that. Got a good jump. Soderberg quick to get on the rubber now. There we go.
He's on the first pitch strike.
First pitch strike. Number 2 up. This is Edwin Rodriguez, a junior infielder. Oh, nice
That's a nice
curveball.
off-speed pitch.
Nice curveball by Soderberg.
Yeah.
This is where 0-2. Years ago, we used to say use a waste pitch, and that was incorrect by all of us. We don't want to waste a pitch. We want to set a hitter up or have him chase your pitch. Generally, you don't want this in the zone.
Right.
I was inside. That was a good pitch. I'm not quite sure, Georgie. What do you think that was?
It looked like a changeup or could have been a curve, but it definitely hit the bottom inside corner.
Yeah, I think it was a changeup.
The batter did a good job of protecting the plate and fouling that off.
Yeah,
and now
there
he
we
comes
go.
upstairs. Jeez, beautiful choice of pitches there to go down low on the previous one, then come up high on that one.
Looks like he's found his rhythm. Really
Yeah.
good job by Luke right there, showing Soderberg exactly where he wanted the ball, and Nolan was able to deliver a fastball, high fastball.
And quickly, 2 outs here at the top of the 3rd inning.
Must be like Soderberg likes the odd numbered innings.
All right, 2 outs, 1 ball. And that ball's hit high
ball,
and deep.
center field.
LaRoe tracking it down. He's
There we
under
go.
it.
Good inning by Soderberg.
LaRoe may have been like 10 feet from the fence out there.
Yeah, that was definitely plenty of time to get on it. Always another one of those guys. He and Chris both play first. They play center. They play right. Really got some versatile juniors here. Helps the team. I look at some of like Grumbaum the other day, played some second and short. I feel like Michael Schreiber could play any place. Really good athlete. Ian McCoy playing all the outfield positions. Finn Connery, another freshman, can play infield and outfield. That's what you want to do for all you young Clarkers out there. Coach says, where do you play? You say, I play every place.
Wherever you need me.
Wherever you need me. As opposed to, I only play this spot, and you got a good guy in front of you that's fantastic. And you got to read the situation, too, when you're going through high school. If I don't want to talk for Coach Messer. I would never do that. But so let's say Coach Messer has Michael Schreiber penciled in at shortstop for the next couple of years because he is a really good athlete. Then you might say, if you're a shortstop, you might say, hey, I can play third base or I can play second.
Right. Yeah, we've heard of that in some of the past years where some of the kids were catchers, and we knew who the catcher was going to be, and you've caught your whole life, but you know you're not going to get a chance to catch if you already have a known entity. So pick a different position.
Right. And if you can catch, you can play someplace else. That's
Right.
for sure. Yeah, be a ball player. Don't
Right.
single yourself out.
Right. And be ready to be the backup because you never know. I mean,
Right.
any pitch, something could happen, and you're going to have to be pulled in there.
It's hard for kids too now, especially with all the AAU. And if you want to find an AAU spot and play a lot, you have to be a really good teammate. Sometimes to sit on the bench and maybe you don't get your opportunity enough, but that's a key situation where the older you get, you talk to the coach, say, what can I do to get more playing time, or coach, am I doing anything wrong? And it's hard. I personally I've been through situations where I've sat on a bench in a high school sport and you just keep plugging along.
Right.
The bottom line is, and I know this sounds goofy, but if you're having fun being with your friends, and you're working hard, that's the key.
Right. And at some point you'll hopefully get your opportunity.
Yeah, everybody wants to get an opportunity, and it's and unfortunately sometimes the high school coaches do have a little pressure to win. I know it's just high school, but people want them to win. We all want it. We all want to win. Not everybody's going to win, but you're going to remember your experience if you've had fun and hung out with your classmates and friends. And I know for Nolan played freshman year, and then he didn't play sophomore year, and then when he went back and played junior year, he said one of the reasons why I want to play is I miss my friends.
Right.
You know?
it's a lot of sports. It's just a chance for them to be around their friends and hang out with them.
Yeah. Jared Grunbaum.
Grunbaum up to begin the bottom of the third, and he gets the bat on it and just gets the ball to drop in the right field.
There we go. That's 2 hits for Jared today.
Yeah.
Hitting a lot to right field, but use the whole field. That's what you want to do. They say hit them where they ain't.
Exactly. Get that ball to drop in there.
Yep. Just keep it in play. George, you, before when talking, and so people know George and I have been friends for a long time. Cole and Nolan are friends. So we talk a lot about baseball. He's talking about keeping the ball in play.
First pitch strike.
Here's Ian. Ian, who made that great catch in right field, right center last inning. Oh, little shoulder hitch there, George. Did you see that?
No.
Looked like it could have been a balk.
Yeah.
One thing you want to watch for, too, kids that are playing is does a pitcher throw to first base? Because sometimes they don't.
Right.
Sometimes they get nervous. Major leaguers have that.
Right. And this pitch is a strike.
For you Red Sox fans out there, remember when John Lester, the great lefty pitcher, he couldn't throw the ball to first base.
Right.
You know, it was crazy, but it happens. It gets in your head.
1 ball, 2 strikes here.
Delayed steal. Coach Messer does an excellent job teaching the delayed steal. I know Nolan Soderberg had one last game, and so Jared has one this game, and I want to say the one with Chris Bradica was a delayed steal.
I think so. And he caught the catcher trying to frame the ball there, trying to call for the strike, so it was perfect timing because I don't think the catcher was aware. And now the third pitch is a strike, and Ian strikes out for the first out of the inning.
Never, not to criticize Ian or anyone, but that old adage of being in Little League, to protect the plate. You know, protect the plate.
Right.
Umpires at the high school level have big zones, and that's not critical of the umpires. I like that they have big zones. Just got to protect the plate. So now we got Luke O'Brien up.
Yeah, Luke O'Brien up again. Yeah, in that 2-strike situation, if you think there's a possibility that it's going to be called a strike, you're going to at least fight it off.
Fight it off.
Oh, that ball's down in the dirt. Luke bit on it, but so we're going to go to 1 ball, 1 strike here for Luke O'Brien.
Sometimes, George, you mentioned you foul a tough pitch off, and then the next pitch, because these are kids, and they're not going to make perfect pitches, and then you get your pitch and rip one.
Right.
Good eye by Luke right there.
Yeah, that ball's high for 1.
Say this for the O'Brien boys, young men, tough athletes. Had the pleasure of coaching them both in 2 sports, and they're just tough kids and great teammates. Grinded out. They both got hurt in football and came back. Type of guys you want on your team.
Absolutely. That ball's down low, and Luke takes.
Tough thing sitting here, George. I usually love cheering during the game. Can't really cheer when I'm here. I'm cheering inside. Oh, Luke with a great hack. Really good hack right there. He's right on top of it.
As you're saying, too, with 2 strikes, that ball may have been a little bit low, but Luke had to swing at it.
Yeah, did a really nice job.
He took a great cut.
Sometimes it's just about extending that bat. So if you extend that bat, maybe you don't get the hit, but the guy behind you does because the pitcher's throwing too many pitches at him.
And now he goes
right
right up the middle, and is he going to...
Oh, nice hustle.
Great hustle by Luke O'Brien. He just beat that throw out.
Excellent hustle. Second baseman did a really good job. We'll use the expression as a hose, threw it really hard over there. But Luke was able to hustle out. That's always, folks out there, hustle everything out.
Yeah, any younger kid that's watching this game today, take a look at what Luke O'Brien just did.
Right, ball up the middle, did a really good job keeping the ball in play, and then hustled. You know, sometimes we watch the major leaguers, and I like to use the term Cadillac it down. Let's hustle. Everyone can hustle. Chris Bradica up.
We got runners at first and third with 1 out, And O'Brien goes. Oh, what a play by the catcher. Ball comes in as the runner goes to second base. The catcher just fires down the third baseline. Catches Grumbaum down there. I don't think he was ready for that ball to come down at him.
Yeah, you got to be ready for that. Got to be ready for their first and third plays. Clearly, they had a play on to throw to third base. I always remember at third base, you're already in scoring position. You're just 90 feet away. You got to be relaxed. Smaller lead down there, and just make sure that you do not get thrown out at third base. But that's why they're high school kids. They make mistakes. Hopefully, Chris can pick us up here. Bradica has a line out to right. Great catch by the right fielder, and I believe he walked last time.
Yeah. He's behind 1 and 2 here.
He's a
2 outs, runner at second.
Good 2-strike hitter.
He is.
Really is.
Oh, he takes that for a strike. Like that was a curve that came in on him.
Good breaking ball right there. So we failed to score in the bottom of the third. 4-3, still Ashland. Soderberg going out to the mound. Just got to pick those. We need a clutch hit there. Again, cannot express how nice it is out here.
I couldn't agree more, especially after the games that we've come off of, either wet or cold. Or be nice to get up to the high school, but I understand the high school field is in trouble. It doesn't drain as well as perhaps it should.
They've always had issues with that. There have been some years they haven't even used it at all. And I know a softball field can get really, really hard once we get to like June. Not quite sure the reasoning there. Love this field, George. Been had the pleasure. This is my first head coaching job. Was here with Ashland Legion years ago. Used to have lights on this field too, George.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were lights here. We used to play a lot of night games. Still a great setting here for those who haven't been here. We got the woods behind. We got the train station down the road, and for those cold days, we got a coffee place right down the road.
We do. We're still waiting for that scoreboard. I know they put a new scoreboard up. They took the dugouts down, and now they're maybe in the middle of putting new dugouts up, getting a scoreboard going. So there's some work to be done here.
I'm going to sound old school here, George. I'm a fan of not having the complete fence in front of the dugouts, although these are pretty close. I do understand the safety issue, but I like the openness now of the new dugout. A lot of space here, a lot of foul ball space in right field and left field. A lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, it is overall a nice field. All right, here we go.
First pitch strike again from Nolan. Pop up. Ollie LaRue catches in center field. 1 out, 1 pitch. It's the type of inning you want. You want to start off with strike. Number 17 up now. Sam Payne. I'm sorry, 12.
No, not number 12 up.
I'm sorry, number 12. Sorry, George. Cameron Keene.
In that last play, again, Coach Messer on the bench yelling out who he wanted to catch the ball, so there was no confusion as everybody came out to try to get to the ball. It's nice to have a quarterback sitting back with the angle to see who's in best position to catch and yell it out to the fielders. There's a strike. One ball, one strike
like
here.
A change up there from Nolan.
Yeah.
1-1.
1-1, 1 out. That ball gets by Luke O'Brien for a ball. I will have 2 balls, 1 strike.
Looked like another changeup. I'm not quite sure. Nice pitch.
Nice pitch, but
it was a little outside.
Yeah.
You want him to attack the zone right here because sometimes, even if he knows he's sitting on a fastball or something, nobody on base. Sometimes you hit the ball right at somebody. And he
that
walked
was
him.
just outside too. But you're right. Throw the strike, let him put it in play, and work for that base.
Right.
Versus just giving it to him. Not that a pitcher would purposely. I'm not saying he tried to throw a ball, but
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, it's again, you don't walk people, you don't hit people, keep people off base, keep your. That's a good spot. Ooh,
that was a good spot.
he's all around it.
Yep. Luke asking for clarification on where that ball was. Smart question.
I think the key too is if you're the catcher, always be polite.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the coach, you can't question balls and strikes. But Coach Messer just the previous pitch just said, "Look where it was at," and he let him know that it was outside. And that's the way to handle it because you don't want to criticize the umpires and you just do your coaching and coach your kids up and.
Yeah, but to ask the question, I think, is smart versus
Exactly.
arguing it. And he gets a strike on that. It's tough, we're kind of off to the side here, so it's very difficult. Very similar looking pitches get called different ways, but we're not standing behind the plate, so we don't get the advantage of that angle the umpire has.
One of the things I learned a long time ago, George, when I first started coaching, and I complained about a ball strike call, and not in a aggressive way or anything. And I talked to the umpire afterwards, and he said one of the things that you can't tell from the side are inside and outside. I thought it was an excellent point. And then I ended up umpiring for a number of years, and that really gave me a better perspective. And I think everybody, even at the youth level, make people umpire or officiate, and then also put you in their spot a little bit too.
Right. You don't criticize until you've done the job. Steal on that last play. O'Brien threw down. Got a good throw, like right down on the base, but runner beat the throw.
Well, another walk here.
There's a walk. Now
he doesn't like the even innings.
Now we got runners on first and second. Coach Messer going out to talk to Nolan. A smart idea here. See how he's feeling. A little infield conference now.
Looks like he's going to be leaving him in. Again, it's interesting. Pitching can be difficult, and you get a vibe. And first inning he had a vibe, second inning was a little off, third inning he was looked great, and then this inning is a little off. Then you start trying to aim a little bit instead of just throwing the baseball. He should rear back and throw here. Oh, that one was pitcher not Varianus looks to second. Now they got second and third, one out here.
Second, third. Yeah, I don't know if he was faking bunt or actually pulled back on the bunt, but runners were able to advance a base.
I think he was faking bunting there.
Pass ball. Just a bad bounce off the backstop. O'Brien's not able to get to it, and runner comes across. Covered well by Soderberg.
George, do you have the count 1-1 or 0-2?
I have 1-1.
Oh, okay. I think he offered at that first one.
Yeah.
So what do we have? We have one out. This is the perfect opportunity for a squeeze because with one out, because he pops it up to be a double play. Have to see what happens here.
He's turning the bunt. It's a squeeze, and he lays the bunt down.
Oh.
Wait. Let's see what happened. Coach Messer's out arguing with the umpire. Let's see what the umpire calls here.
Coach Messer believes the ball hit the batter in the leg. From my angle, it took a weird hop. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
but if it hit him in the box, it should be a foul ball. I didn't see anything.
Didn't see anything. I don't know if he was calling interference or if he thought it was a foul ball.
He thought it was foul ball. I thought the
Okay.
ball hit him in the box.
Right.
And that play right there, Devin probably should have taken the out at first base. He didn't have an opportunity catching. Should always pick the ball up and not flick it because you know if it's fair or foul. Score is now 5-4. Dedham. God bless you.
Runners go out. Hit batter. Runner was going, but then the ball came off. Usher's out to the mound
He has to pull
for
Nolan.
the second time. So
He has to pull him at this point because it's twice in an inning.
right.
Nolan had see where Nolan is he out of the game or is he's playing in left field. So again, Nolan with a good first inning, good third inning, second and fourth inning, struggled with his control a little bit. Frustrating outing for him because he looked like he had pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. When it was good, it was really good.
really good, and then just when he just struggled with his control.
Yeah.
So he's didn't really give up a lot of hits, but
We'll have to see. Maybe his dad can check with him later. See, make sure his arm's okay.
yeah, I
No
think
soreness
I
in
bet
there.
his arm's fine. He'll battle. Well, the key now is the Clockers are down by a run. We got top of fourth, first and second. 1 out, I believe, correct, George?
1 out. Yeah, 1 out with runners in first and second.
We know that this team is going to they're going to steal and bunt, and so Clocker's going to do a little bit of better job of holding people on. One of the keys too is you've got to throw to first base. You got to vary your looks to second, because otherwise they're going to run rampant on you. Jared Grumballman, Jared pitched in the Hopkinton game. He also pitched in the Holliston game. He's an up-and-coming arm.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that first game was cold. Some of the pitchers struggled in that cold weather. I mean, cold weather is horrific for a pitcher.
Yeah, absolutely no criticism here of Jared in that first game. I mean, first time coming in a varsity game. I could be wrong on this. I don't think Jared threw as a freshman last year. I know he was on the team, but I think he primarily threw on JV. Jared's a control pitcher, very smart guy, had him in class, had a lot of these guys in class. So he needs to come up right here big. Got a spin here. Soderberg goes to play left. I believe Finn Connery is now playing second. Everything else stays the same. So we got 1 out, 5-4, top of 4.
And we have Liam Dowling up to bat. That ball's down for a ball.
Oh, nice pickoff attempt, first and second, where Chris Braddock sneaks in behind. It's a verbal sign from the coach, and good effort right there. Difficult to see from this angle where he's safer out, but
It was. You could see that the runner did get in under the. Oh, he's got him. Great pitch down the third baseline, but ball doesn't. Gets bobbled a little bit.
have to wonder in a situation like that, George, generally if you're stealing third base, you're letting both runners go at the same time because they're generally going to throw to third, they're not going to throw at second. Wondering if there's a missed sign from Dedham on that point.
Yeah, that makes sense. Usually, yeah, you're right. Usually you see both runners going.
No reason to send one runner. And they're generally...
That ball's a well-hit ball to center field. Runner on third base will tag up.
He left early.
And he's going, and there's the throw home, and it's too
left
late.
Early. I would appeal to second, third base. He definitely left early.
Yeah, I don't know if an MLB player could have got that ball in and
Yeah, that's a
got
tough
the
throw.
runner out. He was pretty deep in center.
In that situation, too, you just want to make sure you hit your cutoff man so that guy does not move up to second base.
Right, agreed. They did succeed at that, so the runner's still at first. Grumbob throws over. So now we have 6-4 here at the top of the fourth inning. 2 outs, runner on first. Runner's going, kind of hit and run, gets the ball out to left field, but Soderberg in on it, makes the catch for the third out. Nice job out there, just tracking that ball down, getting it right on the left field line.
Good job by Jared coming in, getting those 2 outs. The Clockers overall today, they need to do a better job of holding their runners on and making sure they throw to first and vary their looks to second. This is where they need to really get their bats going again.
See if we have the same pitcher coming out. I think we will. I think he did pretty well last. He struggled a little bit his first inning out, did better the second inning. Now he's back out for the third inning. Scott, has your Nakona team started playing yet, or do they play after?
George, we like to schedule our games in early February. Yeah, we've played. We played in a terribly cold weekend where we ended up supposed to have a doubleheader. And I have to say, in 40 years of coaching, George, I've never worn gloves on the field, and I wore gloves that game. And of course, a couple players gave me a hard time. I'm like, well, I want to freeze my fingers off. And then we played in a tournament 2 weeks ago and did pretty well. Got some good athletes there and kids that are committed to baseball.
I hate to ask you this, but did you wear gloves because it was actually colder, or you're getting a little bit more sensitive to the cold?
I don't know, George,
I'll put it politely.
George, I'm almost 60, so I'm probably a little more sensitive to the cold. For those people that know me, this is a joke, but if I go buy gloves, I got to buy 2 sets, one for the big hand, one for the small hand. Yeah, it was cold, but then the kids are resilient, and it's just nice. It's a different type situation, and we have a lot of good athletes, just like at Nakona, Metro West with Joey Mignani down there, and Matt Anderson over at Longhorns. There's a lot of good baseball places in the area for people to play at. So you need to find a spot. Those great three spots. The one I just advertised for Nakona, obviously.
It was amazing how the kids would be out on the field with just their short sleeve top on. They weren't even wearing long sleeve shirts under it. It was like 32 degrees. Everybody in the sideline is shivering, and they're just out there like it's a summer day. That was a beautiful curveball.
Michael Schreiber up, shortstop. Curveball's inside.
Curveball inside. It'll be 1-1.
Michael also threw a really good inning come off the other day when they were up.
He did.
It's tough to bring your shortstop in. I know that Coach Messer doesn't really like to do that, but sometimes you have to. I talked to him after the game a bit, and he was talking about it. He doesn't want to throw more than an inning because you want your shortstop there if you can be, but sometimes you need an arm, and Michael throws pretty decently, so Coach brought him in, and all worked out, and Jared made a nice play at shortstop on from double play ball.
2-2 to Michael Schreiber.
Schreiber also a basketball player.
That ball down, dropped by the catcher. Great job by the catcher there, huh?
Great job by the catcher. The catcher, what he did after the ball hit the ground is he gained some ground and got himself an angle. He went into the field so he could see the first baseman. Also, a key point here, too, is generally as a right-handed first baseman, you're going to put your right foot on the bag and extend towards the throw. In this situation, you put your left foot on the bag and make yourself wide for the catcher. We call it an inside throw.
The road takes that inside pitch, gets it to the third baseman, who, nice fielding play, fires across the mound for the out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Or 1-2 inning so far, sorry. Once I started saying 2, the 3
just rolled right out.
Yeah.
The third baseman did a good job with his hands, took a big hop for him. Devin O'Brien at the plate. Good frame by the catcher. Couldn't pick up the strike call, though.
Yep, nice ball to Devin O'Brien. Scott, you feel the right fielder is maybe a little bit too far left?
He's hugging the line a little bit. Yeah, definitely.
I'm sorry, the right fielder.
What? You're talking about the right fielder?
Yeah, the right fielder. I'm sorry. I think I said left fielder.
No, I heard. Did you think he's too far towards the right field line?
No. I think with a lefty batter, I thought he should be over a little bit more. But no, maybe I'm wrong.
All right. I don't know.
It looks okay for you.
Looks okay for me. I was going to tell you the tendency all the teams I coach, when your right fielder always seems to hover and go slide towards the line for some reason. Love the line.
And that ball's outside to O'Brien. Good eye here by Devin O'Brien, taking the right pitches. It'll be 3 balls, 1 strike. And that ball just sails over the catcher's head.
A 2-out rally. We had a 2-out rally Friday. Nolan has been swinging the bat pretty well the last 3 games. Had a hit first time out. Second time out, pop up in a key spot. Though we need a little something hard hit here.
He's getting his ball in the bat well.
Yeah, last 3 games. Keep the ball in play. That's up a little bit. That's the pitch we were talking about above his hands. Not a good cut, but just a ball tough to find. Talk to my players. It'd be more of a 2-strike swing because it's a borderline strike. Might even been a strike, George, but I still think it was up a little bit for him.
That ball's well up.
Yeah,
now, at the high school level now, I mean, these players should have a batting strategy when they get up.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad you said that. You should know what pitch you're looking for. You should know what pitch you handle best. Have an idea what you're going to do.
Nice snap throw down to the first baseline, but not in time.
That was a strike. Good pitch there, 1-2. Nolan the other day in Holliston, first time up, he hit the ball really hard at fastball, and he said second time, he said, I was sitting on the curveball, and he roped one in the left field. So you got to have an idea. Know what pitch you hit well, and then make sure you protect with 2 strikes, which Nolan should do here. That's up. That's not even close, though.
That's up again.
So now it's 2-2. So this is where you play like cat and mouse game. Now some people might come with a change of curveball here. It's all fastballs this at bat for Nolan.
Just gets under that. It goes into foul territory, and the first baseman's able to get over and grab that little pop foul. But two strikes. You had to swing at that ball.
I think it was a good piece. Wish he'd gotten it out of play a little bit, but he kept his bat. Tried to keep his bat alive, but he did a good job hugging the line and catching the ball.
Right. And your point, as we talked about earlier, with 2 strikes, you have to protect the plate, and if that means swinging at something that's maybe even a little bit out of the zone, it may be tougher to get your bat on it, but you have to fight those pitches off.
Yep, got to fight them off. I just should go back to Schreiber's at-bat, his previous at-bat before he had the big single the other day. I want to say it was like an 8 or 9 pitch at-bat. And sometimes, if George, like if you lead off and you go 9 or 10 pitches, and even if you strike out, it's 9 or 10 pitches, the next guy does it, because generally we get up high teens, low 20s in an inning, are high school kids. Okay, their velocity is going to go down, their accuracy is going to go. Not always. So you talk about having good at-bats and extending. Sometimes you face a pitcher. I'll use use Crochet as an example. His first start for the Sox this year, he went deep in a lot of counts, batters against him, then he wasn't able to throw as well, and then he gets out of the game. So that's why we're like Nolan when he started in that first inning, the first and third innings, get quick outs, and then you can save something for the tank.
Right.
And then when you got to rear back a little bit, you can.
Right.
But you try to sometimes the guy on the mound is really good, and all you're trying to do is extend at bats and hopefully get him out of the game. Especially now, the way baseball has changed, where kids don't throw complete games anymore. Or I shouldn't say that. Don't throw as many complete games anymore. Grumbaum there with a first pitch strike, nice pitch.
You certainly see that in the major leagues too. I mean, they're very protective of the pitchers.
I saw a crazy stat today, and I'm going to get it wrong. It was about Bob Gibson, famous pitcher for the Cardinals, and the amount of complete games that he had in his career, 220 something is a guess.
Wow.
And then since he retired, 40 years ago, the Cardinals don't have as many complete games as he had in his career. So just crazy stats.
Yeah,
or his famous pitching year where he had that extremely low ERA and won the Cy Young Award, where hit right up the middle, right at LaRue. Ollie with another great catch.
LaRose saved a base hit there by being quick and catching that ball low.
Great jump. Again, the Clockers just need to clean things up a little bit and then get back in. Really not too many mistakes. Just some freebies with hits batsmen and walks, and they've had a couple more. Ooh, that was a nice curveball by Grunbaum.
For a strike. I can't remember the last complete game I've seen. Maybe I haven't watched enough baseball, but it's been a while since I've actually seen a pitcher. And that's a base hit ripped right between the shortstop and third baseman into left field.
And it just doesn't happen anymore.
All right, 1 on, 1 out. James Doyle up at bat for Dedham.
Jared checks over to first base right away. Good job.
Yeah, Grunbaum's certainly not afraid to throw over to first. You know, you were mentioning earlier, some pitchers don't like it. Grunbaum seems to love it. You know, he's just very comfortable keeping that runner honest.
It's all about your feet. It's not how hard you throw over. You got to have that quick hop.
Devin puts a nice throw down. What a great throw by Luke O'Brien down to the second baseman.
Good tag, too. Really good tag.
Luke just threw a rope. That was like just right down to the bottom of the bag.
All right, we got 2 outs here, right, George, 2?
Yeah, that's 2 outs now.
It's another nice curveball by Jared Grunbaum.
And the batter's down, no balls, 2 strikes.
Foul ball.
Fouled off.
Clockers need to get something going next thing. They're just down 2. So as a coach, you get out of this thing, you're thinking, if I can get 1, I'm just 1 away.
Right.
You never know what happens. You got to pick up the sticks a little bit, hit some hard hit balls someplace.
Hey, they scored 4 runs in the first inning, so scoring a couple more in an inning.
There we go. Good inning by Grunbaum.
Elevated on that one.
Another curveball.
Grunbaum had some good help there with a great catch by LaRoe in center field, a good throw by Luke O'Brien down to get the runner stealing, catch him at second.
Pretty solid game defensively by the Clockers again, and I think that's going to bode well nicely for them. Again, a lot of young guys out in the field making it happen. It's early yet. I mean, people sometimes get too concerned at the beginning of the year. Sometimes you just got to get things rolling, get people in the right spots, and then you can win some ball games.
Right. Yeah, a very short amount of time to practice, and
it's
before you're getting out. You don't know if these other teams have different facilities and they're able to practice differently, and
it's tough here with the high school field. And again, not a criticism of anybody, of course, just it's the way it is. It just doesn't drain well, and it's tough to get outside sometimes. And as we all know, at this level, baseball is played outside.
Right.
I was about to say baseball is always played outside, but it's not. But we're not. One of the things that have happened in the last 10 years is the amount of turf fields that we have been expanded. I think there's been some talk of potentially looking at the high school field becoming turf. That could be a rumor. I'm not trying to put pressure on anybody, but that would that changes the ball game if you have a turf field. You can get a lot more done, and of course you share the turf fields. As we have the turf fields behind us, it's getting kind of older, and a nice turf field at the high school that makes it better for practices when you have inclement weather or whatever the case may be.
It's funny, we were talking to the coach of Grafton before last game, and he was talking about having to play a turf field, and the first inning he saw the opposing team that, all the infielders were playing way back in the outfield, and he said, he thought to himself, well, if that's what they're doing, that's what I'm doing, because, the ball comes out faster, and you have to play differently when you're playing on the turf field.
Absolutely. One of the things you have to help teach the kids, too, because, when they're younger, I always tell them I used to say charge the ball, but I say approach the ball. But there are times you have to learn how to back up on a ball to get yourself a good hop. You don't want to get that in-between hop. You want to get the short hop or the long hop. And a lot of times you'll see people back up and get that long hop and throw people out, especially in the major leagues. And the other thing you teach kids too is even in grass, but grass and turf is, don't be afraid to use the turf or the grass to skip across.
Mm-hmm.
Kids will sometimes tell you, like, what are you talking about? Like, well, you throw a ball 5 feet over somebody's head, they don't have a shot. You throw a ball in a hop, they got a shot.
Right. Makes sense. And there's a strike.
So we've got Finn Connery up again.
So he's ahead. 2 balls, 1 strike. That ball high.
There we go. Jared Grumbaum on deck, who's got a couple hits today. Finn has a hit himself. Again, the young sticks coming through today. They're going to have to do it right now.
And that ball's low.
There we go. Now, here we go. So, bottom of 5. Bottom of 5 here. What do we got? Getting down to the bottom of the order here. Wonder if Coach will go bunt or wonder what he'll do. Grumbaum does have 2 hits. Down 2, so interesting strategy. We'll see what Coach does.
Pitcher's up at 64 pitches, which isn't terribly high, but it's a good
sure
amount.
They'll get another arm up soon.
Goes over to first base. Not close. Nice healthy lead on first base.
Not a fan of the left arm going back towards the bag. Oh,
another good hit.
Grumbaum 3 for 3.
Gets that one right back up the middle. Nice hit there.
Coach recognizing that Grumbaum 2 for 2, 3 for 3 there. So now you got McCoyne. Pretty speedy guy. Never know, Coach might give him a bunt for a base hit here. They're bringing their first and third baseman in. That's interesting. Second baseman is shaded towards first, so he's clearly taken that. And I don't know what the shortstop is. Shortstop's headed towards second, but he'd have to. Okay, shortstop is going to be headed towards third. Third baseman deked in and then went back. So here, George, you just want to get the bunt down. Just want to get the bunt down, and as a runner right here, you want to make sure that you see the bunt hit the ground.
Squares for the bunt again. Ball high.
Ian doing a really good job not going after a bad pitch. Hey, if they're going to walk you, we'll take a walk here, right, George?
We'll take anything. Anything that advances the runners. Now, as a pitcher, when you're coming around and you see that bunter squaring, because your natural tendency is to not to want to throw right into the strike zone so they can lay that bunt down. So
I think it's a nervous thing more than anything. But we teach the kids is if they're going to bunt, we'll take the out. Now, squeeze play would be different. We don't want anything happening there. We'll take the out. And what is very important is make sure you get an out here. Like, if it's going to be a bang-bang play at third base, you don't want to go to third base. Rarely do you go to second. The second would be like a guy, kind of check swings and get an opportunity to turn 2. So you got to get an out. And a lot of times you see people throw the ball away in bunts because a lot of people don't practice it as much as some people do.
There you go. Now he's throwing the strike on the bunt.
Strike there. Coyne did not go after that. Didn't feel comfortable with bunting that pitch. On bunting here, you want to stay on top of the baseball. You want to stay on top of the baseball and just get it down. You want to angle it a little bit if you can.
Yep.
Well,
there's no second strike, so
no bunt on there. It didn't look like.
Yeah, it looks like the bunt is off. And now with 2 strikes, it's unlikely the bunt will be on.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be bunting with 2 strikes here.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second, no outs. It struck him out.
Oh, hit the ground. No, that was clear. It hit the ground. Coach wants to ask, but
it did hit the ground.
You could hear it from here. Good sell job by the catcher, though.
Yeah, catcher's trying to say that it didn't, but you did hear it hit the ground.
I like that. Take him on my team. You're going to sell things sometimes.
And we did kind of hear the tip too.
Yeah, I did hear the tip. Good job by Ian keeping it alive.
Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Okay,
the ball
so
right to the first baseman, but gets the runners
gets the
moving.
job done. So it's, as you just heard Coach Messer yell, how to do a job. Exactly. He did a job with 2 strikes. We got a pinch hitter coming up right now. Pinch hitter, Jojo Cologne. Is that how you say it? Cologne. Jojo's a freshman. Got a decent stick. Coach put him in a tough spot. Love it though. Jojo, big, strong, young freshman here. Big spot for him. So now, just trying to keep the ball in play, George, right? They're playing, their middle infield is back, so on a ground ball, the runner should score.
And that's a ball.
Runner at third should keep a minimal lead, which he's doing a good job of. Anything in the air in the outfield, you should be tagging. If the ball drops, you're going to score anyway. Jojo looked like he was going after good discipline on an inside curveball. 2-0.
Held up on that ball. Scored it away from the catcher, but not far enough to make anything happen.
Also, you got maybe your best stick coming up, Radica.
Yep.
We got some good sticks. I don't want to single anybody out, but Chris is a good stick to have on deck with runners in scoring position.
2 balls, no strikes.
And he's going to
nice
hit it
ball
up the middle.
Right up the middle. They're going to
Run
get him out at
score.
first base, but he did the job. Scored the runner.
Exactly what you need to do. So in that situation, when you're up 2 runs, you're not going to play your infield in. You want to get the out. If there were one out right now, they might play them in with the 1 up or run, but they're not going to do that because 2 outs, obviously. So playing back. Chris Braddock up.
Right back, ball's a little outside for a ball. So 2 outs, runner at third.
Chris relaxing himself with a good deep breath. It's always good to do no matter what you're doing. Singing, dancing, whatever you got to do.
Yeah, you don't want me singing or dancing. That's a high, pitch is quite high.
George, you talked about gaps. I think there's a huge gap in right center field right now. If he hits that, he could run until the cows come home.
There is, usually the entire outfield shifts, but it looks like just the right fielder shifted and the left fielder stayed. I'm sorry, center fielder stayed where he was.
That's high. Looked like a high pitch. Call for a strike.
Yeah.
Heard coach say good leave. I would have agreed with that too.
2 balls, 1 strike.
So again, you get fooled with less than 2 strikes. Let it go. Good block by the catcher. 1 bomb at third. Nice shallow lead right here. Single, he's going to score anyway.
So we got 3 balls, 1 strike.
Chris right now thinking just hit something hard. Get a good pitch to hit.
And he gets that ball sky high towards center field. Center field drifting over and makes the catch.
Might have been a little lower, but we got 1 back.
Got 1 back, exactly. And as you were saying, you chip away at it.
Yep, just 6 to 5, correct? 6 to 5.
6 to 5.
Top of 6. Did see, it was interesting to see Ollie LaRue throwing a little bit. You never know. If you get tied or get a lead here, they might make a switch, but Grumbaum doing a great job. Luke O'Brien's still behind the plate. Yep, Jared's coming back out to the mound. Really good job last day. I could be wrong in this, but I feel like Jared's doing a better job of getting his curveball over today.
It did look like he was. As you were saying, the key to it, I don't think he threw a walk. He's either getting a strikeout or getting the ball in play, letting his fielders behind him, doing what they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
And he did have some great fielding plays behind him that last inning, so.
But he's kept the ball in play, and that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Ashland coming up next inning. We'll have 2, 3, 4. Good spot for him. Get a couple runs across and have Jared come back out and close it, or Ollie, or whatever coach decides to do.
So we're going to the top of the 6th inning. We play 7 innings here at high school baseball. See what Dedham is able to do here. Sun's starting to go down, but it's still nice out.
Still nice out.
Just
Still don't have my coat on.
No. Well, now if it's 50 degrees, it's nice out because it's not 30.
People react a lot differently to that 55-degree day in April than they do in September.
All right, Cameron Keem coming up to bat for Dedham.
Ball hitting on the ground.
Ball hit on the ground. Second base. Nice fielding play for the out.
Number 6 up.
Yes, Finn Connery there playing second base. Did a good job tracking that down.
Jack Haven. Yeah, Finn can play a number of spots. I was just talking about Jared's curveball right there. Beautiful. Working ahead. Back to back.
Another one. It's quickly ahead, 0-2. Good position to be in for a pitcher. Now you can paint the corners.
Good job.
Which he does. He goes low on that one, seeing if he can get the...
Good block by O'Brien there.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Oh, nice spot.
Strikes him out.
Goes outside, paints the outside corner. Excellent job, McGrunbaum. Really coming in a nice job.
Well, smart pitching there, knowing that he's ahead 1-2. He's got some opportunities to throw some balls on the corners.
Right, exactly. I love what Greg Maddox used to say, that he never tried to throw the ball harder. He just tried to locate better. I think that's what Jared just did right there.
I agree. All right, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs already.
Nice spot.
Good spot, but a little high.
A little high. I really like that Jared's doing right now, and Nolan Soderberg did it too, is get the ball, get ready to throw.
And that's a well-hit struck ball to left field. Soderberg under it for the easy out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning.
Just down a run here. Run out of at-bats, though. 6-5, Dedham, bottom of the 6. You get the heart of the order coming up. It's Schreiber, Ollie, Dev, Soderberg. Sounds like a couple runs to me, George.
Here's their chance to do it.
Been a quick-moving game.
Yeah.
Just playing 7.
Yeah, 7 innings, so maybe they should do a 5th inning stretch.
They should.
Where we could lead the crowd in Sweet Caroline.
I'm happy to do that. Neil Diamond, one of my favorites.
Shadow coming across the field here as the sun kind of is setting.
George, great minds think alike. I was just thinking that with the shadows can be difficult here.
It is, but it's blocking most of the infield, so the sun is kind of behind the third base line, so it's not in anybody. The field is set up so the sun's not in anybody's eyes. I mean, it may be bad for the right fielder.
Well, maybe Dev needs to poke one out there and get us the lead here.
Right. Attack right field because it's going to be tough for the right fielder.
I did see somebody getting loose for Dedham. This young man here has thrown quite a few pitches. He's got to be up to Brady Petto, 75 maybe, that's a guess.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job. Let's see where he's at. It looks to be at close to 80 pitches now.
Yeah, I'm sure he's on a short leash here. My apologies to the listeners out there. I'm not quite sure. Can't remember what the pitch limit is now in high school. I want to say 100, but I could be wrong on that.
I think we saw somebody go to right about 100, maybe the last game of the game before.
I think that's what it is. Michael Schreiber, number 6, sophomore shortstop relief pitcher. Swinging at first pitch.
Yeah.
So I always run them out because you don't know, because that was a little trouble right there. Shortstop ends up making the play.
Shortstop
Always want to run those out because sometimes high pop-ups, drops, nobody's covering bases, you might end up in 2.
Yeah, there was a little confusion out there. The pitcher, the second baseman, and then the shortstop were all kind of converging on it, and finally the shortstop yelled the loudest.
Ollie up. Good inside pitch right there.
Nice pitch. We just talked about his pitch pump being up, and that was a hard pitch.
Hard fastball inside, definitely.
Inside.
Little sweeper there.
Yeah. 1-1.
Need a base runner, George. Good hack by Ollie.
Nice hack, fastball. Still has the same amount of heat on it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to LaRoe.
Now, there's a perfect example right there, George. Outside fastball. I'm not quite sure if it was a strike or not, but he did a good job of flicking his wrist, keeping it play for another pitch, rather than letting that go and making the umpire make the decision.
Right. And he knew that ball was going to go foul, but
Yep, good job by him.
That's what he had to do. And that ball bounces in. Don't get hit the plate or hit right in front of the plate.
This young man catching's done a nice job for Dedham today. Blocking the balls, framing, trying to pick up a called third strike on a foul ball. I like that.
You have to give him credit. And that ball's high. A full count now to LaRoe.
Big pitch right here. Big pitch.
LaRoe always takes the count deep. I love to watch his at-bats. And that's another pop-up out of play.
Good hack right there. You got a really good rip at that. You're sitting on a fastball. Honestly, if I'm the pitcher right now, I go off speed. I throw a curveball to him.
Yeah, I agree. After the cut he just took, he's waiting for the fastball. And he got the fastball.
The fastball popped it up to left.
I feel the ranging around in on it, gets the out.
2 outs here. Dev O'Brien.
Let's see if Dev can hit into that sunny spot in right field. Take advantage of the sun.
Yeah, base runner here. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, down a run. Down the first pitch swinging.
It's fouled way back.
An expression, George, we like to say to the hitters, let it travel. It looked like Dev was a little out front. The outside pitch. Let it travel a little bit into your stance.
Catcher setting up inside, and the ball goes outside. 1-1. Devin O'Brien.
Again, George, big gap in right center field. Hits a ball hard here. That's 3.
It is a huge gap
Chris
out
just
there.
missed that last time. Got under it a hair.
That ball is way high. 2 balls, 1 strike. That ball low and away. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Got to sit 1 pitch here. If it's not your pitch, let it go. And just sit 1 pitch. Good job.
Say it low and away again. This is almost the same as the last pitch he threw. Now we got a runner on with Nolan Soderberg coming up to bat. 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning.
Nolan's going to keep the train rolling, as they say. Hit something hard someplace.
Get that
I'd
ball
sit
in play.
first pitch fastball because he's struggling. Ooh, that was a tough spot. I thought that was a good pitch by the young man.
That was a good pitch. I think it was a little low and outside.
Good
take by.
Good take. Thank you. Good take by Nolan.
looked like the exact same pitch, but it had to have been a little bit in.
Better.
So it's called for a strike. Probably can't hear it over the microphone, but the Clockers bench is going crazy, screaming and trying to encourage Nolan. And that ball's down in the dirt.
No.
O'Brien goes to throw down. Good job by the second baseman to block that ball from going into center field.
Got to be honest, when I first saw Dev leave, I didn't know if that was a good move, but my apologies, Dev. You really read that well in the dirt. Catcher did a good job, too, and as you said, the second baseman. Good spot right here for Nolan to knock the tying run in.
Devon's a lot faster than he used to be.
He's been working on his speed. Good lead right there. Nolan's got it 3-1. Right now, I'd be yelling out, let's go, Noli. So let's go, Noli. Hit something hard. Knock that run in.
And that ball gets fouled out of play. Just over the fence.
Okay, so we got a full count, 2 outs. So remember, Devin is not forced any place, so he doesn't need to run unless the ball's hit where he can, get there. Obviously, most spots he's running, but he's not stealing on the pitch because there's nobody behind him.
Right. And good take there, high and outside. He walks him, and Devin
O'Brien takes off.
Devin took the opportunity when they weren't paying attention to get to third. It was a great throw down to third base.
Really heads up by Devin. You notice the catcher wasn't paying attention to him. That's what you have to do. Observe things in the game. So now we got first and third. Nolan Soderberg at first. Devin O'Brien at third. We got Finn at the plate. Just an observation, George. He's struggling now. You wonder if they're going to come in with somebody, if they have anybody loosened up, or if this is his inning.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, being up 1 run, you'd think they would make the change.
Well, I'd rather make the change now. You give this guy, whoever comes in, even if they walk a guy, and now to bring somebody in. And it's tough to come in with the bases juiced.
Absolutely. And that ball's in there for a strike. So
my coach may have been giving him a take there, which I think would be a great move.
Yeah.
You want to keep your guys relaxed. Finn's played a lot of baseball. He's a great player.
2 balls, 1 strike. Runners are on first and third. And there's a big swing for a strike. Now we're at 2-2. 2-2 all around. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners.
So no one here on the swing will be going. Devin will have to read it. If I could say something to Finn right now, I'd say keep your head on.
Oh. Soderberg sneaks over to second base. The runners were so far off the base, and there was so much screaming on the Ashland bench that
calling for a balk there. Tough for me to tell from here. I don't want to give a biased opinion.
And that ball's high.
So again, so we're second and third, 2 outs. Got a full count, correct?
Full count now.
So nobody is forced here, so no one has to run. So they're going to wait to see where the ball is hit, or if it's a walk. And we have the Grunbaum, who's 3 for 3. Not a bad stick to have on deck.
Yeah. Don't run yourself into an out. And he strikes him out. High heater. That was like a chest high heater, fastball. Got Connery to swing on it, and Dedham very luckily gets out of that inning for them.
Oh, we head to the 7th. Just haven't had it. I'm able to get that clutch hit in the last few innings. Put guys on base. Had some good at bats. How you doing? Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice to see you.
We did. Grunbaum coming out.
Sorry I'm on
Again,
TV. Thank you. Thank you. Just had a little visit by my older brother, who's a pretty good pitcher. Dropping something off for me. Very nice. Thank you.
I thought it was just another fan coming over to try to get your autograph.
Yeah,
when I walk around with you, it's tough. Everybody's come over to shake your hand or say something to you.
That's what happens, George, when you've been here 35 years.
You've been teaching for 35 years?
I've been involved in Ashland since 1989.
Wow.
So started here as a basketball coach, and then got hired as a teacher by Joe Apicello. Speaking of great baseball guys, Joe Apicello coached Milford Legion for a long time. And then I've been at the middle school. I believe this is my 22nd year.
Oof.
The
And
middle
you
school.
teach fifth? No.
I teach 7th grade.
7th grade, yes.
So, George, we'll review the middle school. It's 6, 7, and 8. I know you know that. So
That's right. That's why it's called middle.
middle. Yeah, I
That's
started
the
as
giveaway.
a 6th grade teacher. I did a little bit of 5th, and now I do 7th. And my lovely wife teaches 5th grade.
Yeah.
So
That's why I said fifth, because I was thinking of Mary.
yeah, Mary teaches 5th. She's been here a long time too. My goal is for us to do 100 years combined, so they can put a statue out in front of us. Gotta say this: loved every minute. All the people of Ashland are fantastic.
And that's popped way up.
There you go.
Again, Messer screaming for who he wants to catch that ball, and everybody else backed off.
Jared with another first pitch strike. Done a wonderful job in relief today. So as I mentioned, George, you find things out. Coach has given Jared a couple opportunities. This one keeps improving, doing a wonderful job on the mound here. Another curveball in for a strike.
That was a good curveball that dropped right in. Grumbone works pretty quickly out there. It doesn't
He
take
does.
a lot of time between pitches.
Well, that looks like another. Oh, I'd ask on that.
That looked like a good pitch, but it was a ball. 1-1, 1 out. And he takes again on that curveball that just came right in.
They haven't made the adjustment on his curveball today.
That one's inside. It's tough. 'Cause I think Nolan throws a good fastball, so that the team is experiencing the fastball. Then Jared comes in with a nice curve that comes in slower and has that motion to it.
Now there's an example right there, George. And by the way, Jared's doing a wonderful job. Try to overthrow there. There's no reason to overthrow. Just locate, and try to get that out. Let's see what he does here. Everybody throws another curveball. No.
Full count, and that's a walk.
Good hustle by Luke, going to get that.
Yep. Luke saw the runner taking off as fast as he could. He knew he had to get back and get that ball. All right, 1 out. Runner at first.
Here's a catcher coming up here. Big, strong young man.
Yeah.
Again, a first pitch strike right there. It's Ryan Laughter, senior catcher.
Another nice strike.
Oh, nice pitch there.
Oh, quick. I think actually the first baseman, because Radica wasn't even ready for that pitch, and for the throw over to first base, and the throw came over, got by him, and now the runner advances to second.
Absolutely imperative for Ashland to squash that run here.
That ball's well hit to center field, but right at LaRoe, who moves in maybe 2 feet, was able to get the out.
For young outfielders out there, do you see what Ollie did after he caught that? He made sure he hit his cutoff man. He didn't have to throw it hard. He sees the runner right in front of him. There's no reason to juice that throw. Also point out that Jared got off the mound right away to back up third base. And what he should do there is go as far as he can to the foul line, so then everything's in front of him.
Right.
Or sorry, not the foul line, the out of bounds line.
The out of bounds line.
Sometimes kids back up right behind. Oh, umpire thought about that.
I had to think about that one.
Almost pulled the trigger.
All right. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, runner on second.
Ooh, good spot.
Gets the call on the bottom of the strike zone there.
Infielders right here. Just keep the ball in the infield. Keep the ball in the infield.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Jared doing an excellent job of varying his spot, varying his looks to second. That's what you have to do. Vary your looks. Don't let them steal on you.
Foul tip strike. Down in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good count for the pitcher. Again, batter calling timeout. Everybody resets. He gets under that ball. Well hit ball to left field. Soderberg under it. Easy out.
I got to score a run here. Let's score a run. People at home, get a guy on. You're going to look for steals, sacrifices. Never know on a squeeze. Just got to keep the ball in play. Make them make plays. Clockers have played a pretty clean game. They've struggled a little bit in runners in scoring position.
So we're heading into the bottom of the 7th inning. Ashland down 1 run, 6-5. Bottom of the order coming up. Grumbaum, McKeon, and Luke O'Brien. Batters number 7, 8, and 9.
Grumbaum's 3 for 3, though, I believe, so that's a good guy to start with. They're again wheeling out their pitcher here.
Well, the pitcher is out again. That's kind of surprised.
I'm a little shocked by that, too, but going to roll him out. I guess maybe this is his game.
Yeah, maybe they'll give him one. And who knows how many games they have this week, too, and how many pitchers they have on bench.
Good point. So it looks like he's got his fastball watching him loosen up.
Yeah, looks like he's throwing pretty well. See if I can get a read on roughly where he is now for a pitch count. He seems to be at 105 pitches, which for anybody, that's quite a few pitches.
That's quite a few pitches. I'm not quite sure of the rule because the rules are different with different leagues. Certainly hope his arm's okay and hope it responds well to so many pitches.
Yeah, I think high school baseball teams don't have the benefit of having a closer.
No, they don't.
Who can come in the final inning.
Yeah, we're not bringing anybody off the bench throwing 93. People sometimes fall in love with all the high velocity, but really pitching's more about hitting your spots because you get guys that throw 100 miles an hour that never make the major leagues because can't hit their spots.
Right.
Jared's had a great day at the plate today. Hope it continues. He's got that 4 on the back of his uniform. That's what hit we're looking for today for him. 4. He's sprayed a couple out to right field. One up the middle.
The Ashland bench comes alive, looking to do whatever they can to will this 1 run at least to come in, if not 2 runs to win the game. That was a strike. Caught the bottom of the outside corner there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
2-1. Outside and high.
That one a little high.
Looks like he's primarily going fastballs at the bottom of the order here. 3-1. You wonder too if Jared were to get on, you're probably going to keep him in the game because he's a pitcher. You can't really pull him, so you're not going to go pinch runner. Oh, close there.
Just outside too. Wow.
All right, if you remember last time when Ian was up, we had runners on first and second, and Ian showed bunt early, and then they pulled the bunt out, and he got on base. I think here though, you would see Coach probably bunt. That's what I talked about. You hope for a wild throw when he gets a bunt down. Oh, no bunt showing there. Nope. You never know.
Pitch is high.
He might just be going green light here because you get to Chris, top of the order.
Yeah, pitches up to 111 pitches.
That's 2
that ball's high too.
Do want to point out that Luke O'Brien was pinch hit for last time, so he would have to swing here. I feel that Luke's a good bunter though from memory.
Yeah.
So 2-0 here to Ian. Got to really lock into something you can drive. George, I keep mentioning this in hopes that it'll come into play for us. We got a huge gap in right center field.
It really is when you look at it out there.
You drive a truck through that. Probably 20.
All right, catcher going out to talk with his pitcher. Again, pitcher's very, very high in the pitch count. Maybe Ashland could take advantage of that. And that ball goes high again.
Yeah, I definitely think he's giving him the take sign here, George. I don't think there's any way he's swinging the bat.
No. Yeah, Peto's having a hard time getting the ball down in the zone.
That's ball 4.
Wow.
I was borderline, but...
All right, now the Dedham coach is going out.
You got to believe that Luke O'Brien is going to bunt here.
Yeah, I think he's calling over somebody else to come in and pitch. I mean, no criticism of the Dedham coach, but it was kind of plain to see that the pitcher was way up in the pitch count, having a little bit of trouble getting the ball in there for strikes.
A lot of pitches to ask a young man to throw. He actually had a good outing. Really kept them in the game.
He did, and you're right. A lot of these high school, these athletes don't want to come out. It's hard to recognize that they're ready to come out when they just don't want to. They want to be in there.
Yeah, you can't blame them. You want gamers out there, especially. Not to flash back to years ago. I remember years ago when I was coaching here and we were playing Hopkinton. I had a guy on the mound, Craig Foodie, who his pitch count was up. It was a different era, and went out to the mound and they just said, "What do you think?" And we're talking to him late in the game, and he's like, "Hey, this is your game, win or lose." And you like those types of guys.
Yeah.
You got to have those gamers, the guys that want the ball in the tough spot.
You do, but then it must be tough as a coach when you recognize that the pitcher wants to be in, he really wants it, and he just doesn't have it, and you need to pull.
It's a tough spot, but that's where, as a coach, I always talk to my kids at any level and say, no baseball game is worth your arm, and if you're throwing a state championship game and you get a little bit of a sore arm, you're not going to pitching college. I get it, but other than that, you want to protect arms, and it can be difficult. Different eras, guys threw a lot more. And now we get into the specialty in the major leagues where guys rarely throw complete games. And, gone are the days when guys would throw 150, 160 pitches.
Right.
Take care of their arms. I mean, unlike softball where, not to sound goofy, your arm hangs down here. Those women and young ladies can throw every day. And it doesn't impact them as much. Throwing a baseball is one of the most unnatural things for your body, so you got to take care of your arms.
Yeah. It's a lot of stress.
A lot of stress on your arm.
All right, Luke O'Brien up to bat.
Clearly a bunt situation here.
No outs.
I got to believe one. So again, we just want to get on top of the baseball, get the ball down there. Runners want to make sure they see the ball down, because you do not want to get doubled off here if he doesn't get the bunt down. First and third are in. Second baseman is shaded, really shaded. First pitch is a strike.
He didn't square the bunt, so
I'm going to assume he's bunting here, George. I could be wrong.
There he goes. Now he squares. Oh, and he
now you're in a tough spot.
Over the bunt. Now he's in a tough spot. 0-2.
He's got a hit, but you've watched the second baseman go back towards double play depth. Come on, Luke. Luke can bang one out through here, get the bases juiced for a.
There's a
tough curveball for strike 3. Well, we got Chris Braddock up.
It's also starting to get a little bit
dicey with the darkness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, here we go with that gap shot right here. Would be nice. The block by the catcher. Catcher's done a really nice job today.
Yeah, the catcher really is playing a very good game. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Runners at first and second. Clockers have to put at least 1 run on the board here in this inning.
Good opportunity for Chris Braddock right now.
Nice Nice curveball there and on Chris, coming in on Chris. Righty curveball throw comes in on the lefty batter.
Got a feeling Chris is going to hit something hard right here, get us back in the game.
I think so. He's just getting his timing worked out.
Right up.
It's a high fastball.
Too like we got a fast run on time. What would be the go-ahead run? Ian McCoy in first base. Jared about average speed. No offense to Jared. Good leave. That's
3 balls, 1 strike. Very favorable here. Would you give him the hit away sign? Or you want him to take
absolutely.
here?
No, I don't want him taken here.
That's a strike. Now we got a full count.
And you know what? Coach may give him the take. That's fine. It's preference here, but I like it. I like this swing because it's Chris. One of my better
especially when you got
hitters.
somebody who bats like Chris.
Yeah.
He gets under that. The catcher's ranging back, and the catcher makes the basket catch. That was a tough play for the catcher.
Really nice. He's done a really nice job today. Catcher's really kept him in the game. Michael Schreiber here.
All right, bottom of the 7th, 2 outs. We got runners on first and second. Curveball in there for a strike. Catcher got away from the catcher, but runners aren't able to advance.
No spot here for Michael. Runners in scoring position. Did a big job on Friday.
There's another breaking ball.
That 0-2?
0-2.
0-2. I think he's coming with it again. Might as well.
I think he is. Yeah, I was
That was
going to say,
a really good spot by the pitcher.
was a good spot. We talked about it earlier. If I was the pitcher, I'd be throwing away from him, down and away, try to get a little bit out of the zone, get in the chase.
He did exactly that. Did a really good job. Might come back with a heater here. And by the curveball.
The curve. Schreiber was ready for it. He turned on it a little bit quickly.
Good job by Schreiber keeping this bat alive here. And just down by a run. Again, bottom of 7, 2 outs, 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
1 ball at second is a tying run. McCoy is a go-ahead run at first base. Only the fastball, good spot.
Fastball up top brings the count to 2-2.
George, I got to believe he's going with another curveball again here.
I have to. I mean, that's his pitch.
That's his pitch.
He throws a great curve.
Hopefully Mike will hop on it and knock a run in here. That's up.
Yeah, that's up.
Oh, don't get drawn. Okay, so
We've got a full count going here.
Folks at home, 3-2, 2 out. You have to make sure the pitcher delivers, but it's to our advantage because the ball gets put in play. Can score easily here. Everybody's going to make sure he delivers to home. That's up.
That's
All
up.
4. Gotta say this, George. Really, really good at bat by Schreiber. I may have been swinging at that pitch, but Michael showed great patience at the plate. Now we got Greenbaum at third. This is exciting. And we got McCoy at second, a speedy runner here.
Ollie row up.
Ollie is due for to knock a couple runs in to get us a W here. Oh, he came with a fastball.
Came with the fastball away.
Good spot. Ollie's probably looking for a curve. That's all right. Plenty of at-bats left. Bat left here.
Ollie playing games up there with the pitcher.
I like that.
It's just smart. You've seen Ollie do that for his entire career.
Ollie's setting the tone.
Now the pitcher's taking his time.
It's outside. Oh,
it looked outside, but he threw the...
One pitch, Ollie. Here we go. Oops, sorry. I went into cheering mode, folks at home. Okay, again, 2 strikes. We got to keep something in play.
Ollie down 0-2.
Always a tough hitter, though.
2 outs. Again,
Outside there.
Yep.
Like you said, George, taking low and outside. Good pitch.
Outside, yep.
Ollie can squeeze one through the right side here, and then McCoy will run forever.
Hey, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Keep this ball in play, Ollie.
Ball comes right to the... Oh, he goes across the field.
That's it. That's it. That's game's over, folks.
Game's over.
Keep the ball in play,
an
baby.
error by the
Keep
shortstop.
the ball in play. Clockers are filling up another one. There we go. It's not textbook, but you keep the ball in play. Good things happen, and that's what happened right there, folks. Back-to-back win for the Clockers. Really good job by Grunbaum in relief. Pretty solid D. Good at bats last inning. Sorry, George, I am so excited. I love this game.
You are, how lucky are they? Jeez, talk about a way to win by the shortstop. The shortstop, I think he could have flipped it to second and had the out.
That's where, and I don't want to criticize their team. The second baseman, maybe he's got to let them know, one or two. I think, too, is the shortstop needs to gain a little more ground. Was throw kind of flat-footed. But again, what do we talk about pregame? Keep the ball in play. Good things happen.
Right.
They don't give out medals for ugly wins. We'll take an ugly win.
Yeah.
But you get good relief pitching. So overall, we got to score a little more runs and runners in scoring position. But it's a good win for the Clockers. Good way to start the week.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like in tennis. You keep the volley going and you kind of force that error. You
That's right.
don't commit the error, you let them commit the error, and that's exactly what happened here.
And as we talked about pregame, so many games at this level are lost. I mean, that game was lost. I mean, I give Clockers credit. I give Shriver credit for taking that 3-2 curveball. And then all 2 strikes, just keep the ball in play. Good things happen.
Right. Don't strike out. Put the ball in play. Something could happen.
And
it did. You're right.
We're going to win. Back-to-back wins. That's fantastic for the Clockers. Heading in the right direction. Which Noli Soderberg had thrown a little better at spots today, but you get what do you gain? You gain Grunbaum comes in and throws a really good in relief. Now you say, hey, now we got another pitcher there that can make things happen, and you can start rolling.
Yep.
And you get excited. Like I am.
Love the excitement and the enthusiasm. Well, so the Clockers now 2 in a row. They're on a streak.
We're on a streak.
The 2-win streak.
We'll take that.
Keep that going. Got 2 more games, as you said, going this week. One Wednesday, one Thursday. Let's bring this momentum into those games.
Yeah, let's keep her rocking and rolling. They've played some tough games as Dedham has too, but really good job of just staying in the game, not getting too down about being down a couple runs, scraping some stuff across, and that's what you have. You get yourself a W on a fine Clocker day at Walker Field.
Yeah, beautiful night for a win.
George, I want to thank you for inviting me. As you know how much I love baseball, I really appreciate it. It's great to hang out with you, and hopefully we can get a chance to do this again soon.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. I appreciate you having you here for tonight for the Clockers baseball game. Again, the final score: Clockers 9-7. Was it 8-6?
It was
I'm sorry, 7-6.
7-6.
There we go. I don't have my sheet in front of me. That's right. They were down 7-5, and now 6-5, and they won 7-6.
I think as a socialist, you could bring that up. 1776. We got Marathon Monday coming up, Patriots Day, and for all my students out there, remember Battle of Marathon 490 BCE sets up nicely for this Marathon Day and Patriots Day.
Agrees. Thanks a lot, Scott.
Thank
you, everybody. Look to see